respected chairpersons, dear friends, the topic allotted to me is about diet for heart health. Initially, I thought it's very dry subject to start with, but then as I prepared for it, I found that it's very interesting as well as very important for our day-to-day practice. As you know, Indians eat and live with food as per their family customs, cultural beliefs, and religious practices most often. But then the diet is also influenced by affordability, personal choices, fads, and of course, Dr. Google. So these are the influences on our diet. For centuries together, Indian medical practice is integrated with advice about some food restriction with each prescription. We call it Patyam. So whenever you give a prescription, what is the Patyam, they ask. It's a common experience for all the doctors. And most of them expect that we talk something about what food to take and what not to take along with the prescription. This is a very common experience. But the interrelation between diet and heart disease has started in late 50s with a very landmark trial, that is 7 countries trial, which went on for several decades, and they analyzed the interrelation between the cardiac deaths and intake of fat, especially saturated fats. And they found a very positive correlation between the two. And more recently, 2 important trials are there. One is Inter-Heart study, another is Pure trial. And both have shown that with daily consumption of fruits and vegetables with regular physical exercise is associated with 40% reduction in the MI incidence. And in Pure trial, which involved about 18 countries, they found that the areas where they use fruits, vegetables and legumes in a good amount have 19% lower risk of all-cause mortality. So diet has direct influence through various molecules which are poorly understood, or it may be affecting various cardio-metabolic risk factors and indirectly affecting. So this has been point of research at various stages. And in fact, American Heart Association has designed a particular model called Life's Essential 8, of which diet is one of them, for good cardiometabolic health. And simultaneously, we are also seeing many pundits coming up with various diet prescriptions and diet practices, which may be termed as fad diets. They usually have very low carbohydrate or extremely low fat or high protein or high intake of a particular substance in a excess than what usually we expect. And they usually claim quick cure, quick loss of weight, quick control of heart disease, like that. They sound too good to be true. And most of them have very rigid rules, and they forbid one particular item or other, and mostly liquid replacements for solid foods, and they claim detoxification and are based on personal experience mostly. And you may be aware of such diets being very much in practice in Vijayawada and around that. You must be knowing such diets, very popular. And the growing popularity is because of the rise in obesity, the social pressure to become thinner, and advertisements and various misconceptions. There are several short-term and long-term bad effects of such diets, starting from dissatisfaction, electrolyte imbalance, memory problems, and on long run, it may even lead to more cardiovascular events and increased mortality. But the proven evidence-based 3 important diet patterns are there in literature. One is Mediterranean diet, DASH diet, and plant-based diet. These three have the strongest evidence for usage for prevention of cardiovascular disease. There are some less popular ones like Nordic diet, TLC diet, and flexitarian diet. Two diet patterns are emerging. One is keto diet and intermittent fasting. These are emerging diets which need some discussion. Mediterranean diet is what is practiced in Italy and countries around it, which advocate lot of vegetables, fruits, beans, lentils, nuts, good amount of whole grains, plenty of olive oil, extra virgin oil, they specifically mentioned about it, good amount of fish, especially those rich in omega-3 fatty acids, moderate amount of cheese and yogurt, and little or no red meat, and little or no sweets, and moderate amount of wine if somebody is habituated to it for long time. You need not start it to prevent heart disease, but if somebody is already on, probably it should be moderate amount. And they also prescribed how much should be taken on a daily basis or weekly basis. These are the fish which are very rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and unfortunately they are also very expensive for a common man. Then the Mediterranean type of diet has also been studied in Lion Diet Heart Study in 1999, where they found that the incidence of a recurrent MI was less compared to a arm where they were put on AHA recommended diet versus this diet. And this was followed by various validation studies. So this particular diet has become almost a standard for decrease of cardiovascular diseases. Recently, there is a meta-analysis in 2024 where 28 studies were analyzed, and they found that there is 23% reduction of all-cause mortality and reduced cardiovascular mortality.